Hi, and welcome to this video, which is going to help you get around the problem of some tricky mixdowns which you may have been having with Cubase. So in the previous mixdown video, we saw that sometimes the mixdown level you get isn't exactly ideal, and a small adjustment in the master fader can lead to a distorted mixdown where you would expect it to just be at the perfect level. In addition, some mixdowns will be inconsistent, so you might get 3 or 4 dB of variation if you do exactly the same thing on 2 or 3 occasions, and that can be difficult to deal with, particularly if you are working with a tight deadline. So in this video, I'm just going to show you a quick tip on how to deal with that and end up with a mixdown which is spot on. So we're going to look at the same project again. Here in the mixer, we can see we were at the mixdown level we got to, but we were getting a peak level of just over 0, which is unacceptable. So what we're going to do is reduce this to a safe level. So I'm going to go to minus 10.8. So that should take us under where we were. And we're just going to do the mixdown again. So this is just like before. So I've already set the locators, as you can see. I'm going to go to File, Export, Audio Mixdown. I'm going to name this one differently. So I'm going to call this Too Quiet. And I'm going to do it as a WAV file. Okay, we're not going to re-import this. We're going to import it into another project. But I'm going to do it as a 24-bit one to avoid any attacks from any audio quality people who will go, oh, you've done it wrong. So we're just going to do it as 24-bit and click Export. And again, we will fast forward through this process. Okay, so there we've finished the mixdown, and we can see we've got a good level. Now, you're probably going to find that for a lot of purposes, that would be acceptable, but we want to get it absolutely spot on. So we are going to do that using the technique that I'm going to show you now. So we're finished with this project, so we don't need to do anything else to this. So we're going to close that. I'm not going to save it for reasons. And now we're going to make a new project. So just going to make an empty project. I'm going to put it in here and mixdown levels. So always put your projects in a new folder and name them appropriately. So here we have that there, and now we are going to import the mixdown we just did. So I'll go to File, Import an audio file. This should be old news to you, hopefully. And then going to go to Mixdowns folder and then find. Quiet. So let's import that. Importantly, always tick copy file to working directory when you're importing audio. That's the general rule. There's very few times when you won't want to do that, and this isn't one of them. So going to import that there, and we can see that that isn't quite up to the level. It's close, but we want to get this spot on. So all we're going to do now is we're going to normalize this. Okay, I'm just going to reset the meters because that was from earlier on. So we select the file in question, and then we're going to shift and right click on it and go to Process and then Normalize. We set that to 0 and click Process. And now we have a file which will play consistently. You can see the increase in level that just happened there. It's only a small amount, but we want to get this right. And now we will go to the mixer, and we're going to set the master output to minus 0.1. And now we can export that. So using the same process as before, but you'll see this time it's much quicker, although we've been speeding through them in the other thing. So we will just set our locators around there. So we just hit P. We've got everything. We don't need to worry about it tailing out because this is an audio file. We'll go File, Export, Audio Mixdown, and I'm going to call that Carbon Fixed Levels, and put it back to 16-bit because I want to put it on a CD, and click Export. And it does it much quicker because the computer's got almost no maths to do, whereas previously it was having to do everything. And now when we look in the mixer, we can see that our peak level has been minus 0.1, and there you go, your levels are fixed. So if you have a tricky mixdown to do, get it close as shown before, and then use this technique to get it spot on, and you can get your levels exactly right.
If you've enjoyed these videos and found the tips in them useful, then subscribe by clicking on the MTT logo in the corner now. In addition, visit musictechtuition.com where you'll find tips, tricks and advice, as well as information about the books that I've written, Music Tech A-Level using Cubase 8 and the Complete Guide to Music Technology using Cubase 8, which have got a wealth of information, stuff that would take years and years of YouTube videos to cover. These are a great resource whether you're just getting started or you've been sequencing for a few years. They will allow you to take your sequencing, recording and production to the next level and give you a really well-rounded education in all aspects of music technology.